Not surprised at all. It's who he is. It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of proof.
Former boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend.
Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done.
November 14th, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis has officially been canceled. I know that we all speculated that it would be, and I was pretty much for sure that it would be canceled, but now we have official confirmation.
The boxing world is reeling after Leonard Ellerbe finally addressed Gervonta "Tank" Davis's latest arrest, an incident that has shaken the entire sport. The fallout has been immediate and severe, with a highly anticipated Jake Paul versus Tank Davis showdown officially cancelled. What was poised to become one of the decade's biggest crossover events has collapsed, as legal troubles once again threaten to derail Tank's already turbulent career.
So, Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying Most Valuable Promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, "Our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly," said Nikisa Badarian, CEO of MVP. "While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Kaseya Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel.
Ellerbe, the longtime promoter and former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, who has remained a central figure in Gervonta Davis's career, made it clear that the latest incident has gone beyond what the sport can tolerate. His remarks were direct, stating that Davis's legal situation makes the Jake Paul fight not just unlikely, but entirely unworkable, and that Tank's standing in boxing may now be at real risk. In the aftermath, Jake Paul's team has formally approached Ryan Garcia to take Davis's place on November 14th. Multiple sources confirm that Most Valuable Promotions contacted Garcia as the fallout intensified, proposing a potential December fight if the November date cannot be met. However, Garcia's promoter has raised concerns over existing contractual commitments that could complicate any agreement.
So, as of today, November 2nd, this fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star, he's a big public figure, loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is.
Rolando Romero came out swinging after news broke that the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight had been cancelled. He criticized the collapse of the card and accused Paul of chasing a spectacle instead of a legitimate opponent, adding that he'd have no problem dominating Paul if they ever shared a ring. Romero then shifted his aim toward Ryan Garcia, accusing him of avoiding the rematch they are contractually bound to. He called Garcia unreliable and fearful for backing away from the agreement, insisting the boxing world is tired of empty talk and wants fighters who actually honor their commitments.
I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. Bro, Jake Paul gets knocked out.
Oscar de la Hoya addressed the rumors circulating about Ryan Garcia stepping in to replace Gervonta Davis, firmly stating that no such discussions ever took place. He clarified that if real negotiations were happening, he would be the one to announce them publicly. De La Hoya added that Garcia is focused on his own plans and fans should not expect an abrupt crossover fight with Jake Paul. His comments shut down the speculation and reminded the boxing world to be cautious with unfounded claims.
Asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No. You have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So, anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced.
Most Valuable Promotions confirmed that fans who purchase tickets through official outlets like Ticketmaster will receive automatic refunds within 14 to 21 days from the original point of purchase. For those who bought through secondary marketplaces or resale platforms, MVP recommended contacting the vendor directly, as automatic refunds may not apply. This policy was outlined in the company's broader statement, acknowledging the event's cancellation and explaining how they intend to honor fan commitments during the fallout. Meanwhile, multiple sources close to MVP report that Francis Ngannou has quickly emerged as the leading candidate to replace Gervonta Davis as Jake Paul's next opponent. Discussions are said to be progressing, with both sides exploring terms for what could become one of the most explosive crossover matchups in recent boxing memory.
Globally on DAZN. First off, I'll say kudos to MVP for refunding people that did buy tickets to this event and also navigating this thing with professionalism, which they did the entire way through. You got to give them credit for that. They really stayed quiet on the rumor front and just handled things as a professional company. That's all you can really ask for. Jake Paul has, in the last couple of hours, tweeted idiot, and then God has a plan always. Two things that I think are both referring to this fight. First off, calling Gervonta Davis an idiot, I assume, and then obviously, God has a plan always, referring to this thing is probably going to work itself out. Now, obviously, this video is dedicated to talking about future opponents for Jake and potential fight dates. I do have something that I don't know if it's misinformation or not, but I'm just going to talk about it here. This is a tweet from somebody named ATalkers5. I don't know how realistic this potentially even could be, but this is from 4 hours ago. They said two of the female bouts scheduled for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis undercard are now scheduled for December 4th.
Francis Ngannou, who shocked the world with his impressive boxing debut against Tyson Fury and later shared the ring with Anthony Joshua, remains a major global pay-per-view attraction. Jake Paul's team viewed Ngannou's power and international star presence as the ideal solution to rescue the event. But Ngannou quickly dismissed the reports. He stated plainly that he would never accept a fight designed as a publicity stunt. After facing top-tier heavyweights like Fury and Joshua, he said stepping in against a YouTuber-turned-boxer would undermine his skill level and the standards he has worked to uphold. His comments came shortly after Paul's camp began dropping hints about possible negotiations. Ngannou confronted the rumors directly, stressing that fighters must honor the craft and avoid turning combat sports into a search for online clicks. His firm rejection underscored his professionalism and sense of self-worth. Fans responded positively, agreeing that a matchup between him and Jake Paul made little sense either competitively or...
And see, Jake Paul, he's fighting, and I'm like, no, bro, come on, don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like, they even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He send out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number, If it was about a number, we could have started up. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested.
The fight make no sense. That's what I think. That's my my position. And though I went back, I still,
Placement for Gervonta Davis. We had to go right to the source. What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such a thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. Like, come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense. The Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different, can level up. Like, at this point, for me to...
Reports circulating online suggest Jake Paul may now be eyeing Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a replacement opponent following the cancellation of his fight with Gervonta Davis. Several outlets claim Paul's team has contacted Mayweather to explore the possibility of a showdown. Mayweather, however, has shown little enthusiasm, calling the matchup too easy and indicating it is unlikely to happen under standard fight conditions. Nothing has been agreed to, but the speculation alone is adding new tension to an already turbulent moment in boxing.
And then if you keep going, you see stuff like this going around, and he's not the only one. A possible replacement for Paul being Garcia. I've seen another article that said that they pitched to Mayweather. I've seen that one, and some other big names as well. And I'm pretty sure the people behind Paul got the bag because Paul draws the bag. So they can probably, if Floyd Mayweather commits to it, yeah, you get that money together because you know it's coming back in cents. You know it is. How old is Mayweather right now? It don't fucking matter. That bread is coming back. He's just a draw. The biggest, maybe, right? He might literally be the biggest boxing draw of all time. Floyd Mayweather. So I think that if this is true, that the fight is canceled, Jake Paul is going to end up with a...
On the Ariel Helwani show, analysts examined how Gervonta Davis's ongoing legal troubles have severely damaged his public image and placed his boxing future at risk. The latest lawsuit, filed just 2 months after the previous case, was described as further evidence of a troubling pattern surrounding Davis. Helwani and his panel highlighted how these repeated incidents have strained his personal relationships and made major sponsors and broadcasters increasingly reluctant to align with him. Netflix, which planned to stream Jake Paul vs. Davis as its first major boxing showcase, is now reportedly reconsidering its involvement to avoid the surrounding controversy. With Davis's reputation rapidly deteriorating, Jake Paul faces mounting pressure to secure a new opponent before the entire event collapses.
And or so, Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying Most Valuable Promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly, said Nikisa Badarian, CEO of MVP. While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Kaseya Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel and Casino for their partnership. Then there's some information about, fans who purchase tickets. You can see all of this online. I did speak to Nikisa briefly, and I've seen some people say like, hey, and this was his take. Like, I asked him 2 questions basically, like, did this have anything to do with the ticket sales? He said this was going to be a very, very successful event for them financially. And the other thing was, like, you know, Tank Davis has a checkered past. He had a checkered past when this fight was made. What changed? Well, obviously, 2 incidents, allegations, lawsuit. Since the fight was announced, they at the time felt like this was an opportunity for people to learn about who Tank Davis is, for him to show the world that he was a changed man, all this stuff and more. And you know, that didn't happen, and they felt like they had to cancel the event. For the record, I feel like this was 100% the right call. You can't be a promotion that is so heavily invested in women's boxing and work with a guy who has allegations and lawsuits pending.
Some reports indicate that with November 14th now vacant, the promotion is considering filling the date with at least 2 women's title fights. Early promotional material had already highlighted several women's world championship bouts for the event, including Alicia Baumgardner versus Layla Bedoin for the super featherweight titles. Although nothing has been finalized, the possibility of shifting the spotlight to female championship contests suggests the promotion may reframe the entire card around women's boxing following the cancellation of Paul versus Davis. Meanwhile, analysts across multiple boxing shows argued that Jake Paul's sharp criticism of Gervonta Davis over his lawsuit was inconsistent. They pointed out that Davis is facing a civil case, not a criminal charge, meaning no guilt has been established. Commentators also reminded viewers that Jake himself previously faced misconduct allegations from a former girlfriend, raising questions about the credibility of his moral positioning. Many accused Jake of leveraging Davis's legal issues as a public relations tactic to distance himself from controversy, rather than taking a genuine ethical stance.
If I thought he did it twice and we forgave for that and you got better, you seek help and etc., I can, I forgive him for it.
Bruh.
How you know Jake Paul didn't know that?
Jake Paul knew.
Jake Paul 100%
September 19th, 2017, arrest warrant, first degree assault. September 14th, 2018, arrested in Washington, D.C. February 1st, 2020, Davis arrested on domestic assault. March 22nd, 2021, indicted on 14 counts allegedly causing a serious crash. December 27, 2022, days before a fight, arrested and jailed in Florida, domestic battery. July 11, 25, taken into custody following a battery charge. October 31st, 25, Davis was involved in a civil fight with his girlfriend. Shut up, Jake Paul. You knew what you was doing.
He does not get this excuse whatsoever. Also, whenever you look at what Jake Paul has done since coming into the sport of boxing, he has been a champion for women in the sport. He has also been a champion of equal fighter pay and whatnot, right? And all of these different things that he's done. He's gone to Dana White directly for trying to abolish the Muhammad Ali Act that helps out fighters get. He's gone to so many different people. He's an extremely knowledgeable person whenever it comes to the sport that he's hyper obsessed with, and turned his career from a Disney star and a YouTuber into a boxer. He knew about these issues already. Correct. He knew that this was a farcical fight in the first place. Yeah. This is a 7-weight class difference in real boxing. No, absolutely not. It should not have been a fight that was happening in the first place. But even then, after all of these things going on right now, Jake Paul to sit there and act as if you are all high and mighty, and that I don't want to give this dude a platform to earn money. You were more than happy doing it. And
Gervonta Davis's arrest has not only collapsed one of the most anticipated crossover fights in years, but also exposed the instability behind hype-driven boxing events. With the Jake Paul versus Davis bout officially cancelled, promoters and platforms like Netflix are now scrambling to protect their interests and explore replacement options. The situation underscores how off-ring behavior can unravel even the biggest sporting spectacles. For Jake Paul, the event must move forward. For Davis, this latest arrest may become the most damaging setback of his once promising career.
Like they feel the same way.
It's
an impossible spot to be in.
The only part I'd say is, like, you kind of know who this guy is ahead of time. Like, this is not exactly a shocking revelation like Tank Davis is. This is not the first rodeo. But I do think it's too close to the fight to really be, messing around here. Like, you got to figure out a new solution.
And so there's been multiple reports regarding people that they've reached out to. Names like Ryan Garcia have been brought up, Terrence Crawford has been brought up, Francis Ngannou has been brought up. And Francis Ngannou spoke to TMZ today, and he did confirm that he was contacted, and the quote was, "How can they go from Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? It makes no sense." He was like, quote, "We think about you to fight Jake." I'm like, what? Which Jake? Bro, come on, don't.
What's your take on all this? Did Jake Paul do the right thing by stepping away after Gervonta Davis's arrest? Or is it just a calculated PR move? Share your thoughts in the comments below.